And the world continues to spin while I sleep. While I sleep, the world goes on and on and on and on and on. As it should. Guys, this is Issues with Tiny Once. Goodbye, You're not. How you doing? What's going on? Guys, thank you for your subscriptions. Everything, guys. Thank you for your memberships, your likes, your shares. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. We are the world. We are the children. So, while I was asleep, I guess, and then I went on live with Becca Scoops. Always a pleasure. And she had a great panel, guys. You got to check out her live. She had Case. She had Haiti Joy. She had Barb from Straight Outta Context. She had some Pumpkins guy with a really good voice. And Justin from True Crime Perspective. Yeah, so it was a very interesting panel. And apparently, Bree with the facts, some people call her bro, but Bree with the facts, she wanted to talk about like world peace, pollution, climate change. Do you know how climate change is, Bree? Bree, question. Climate change. Do you know how that occurs? Do you know why that occurs? Just wanted to know if you knew. So we should worry about everybody but the MURDERERs around us. We should worry about the sun going down or running out of energy, but not the people that unalive their moms. Those people, we shouldn't worry about them because they're no danger to us. You sure about that, Bree? You sure about that? You sure? Because I'm not sure about that. How about, it's really kind of ridiculous when anybody tells somebody, hey, don't worry about that, worry about this, especially when you don't have any credentials.
Listen, guys, the reason I had to have Justin on is because he got Bree's attention, which,
yes,
you know, and so I'm going to play the, what got her attention. So here we go.
Since you're so concerned about the rest of the world all of a sudden, I just want to name one specific thing in the world that is problematic to me and probably a lot of others too. The fact that Nicholas Godejohn is in jail for the rest of his life, and you're not, Gypsy. Think about that problem that's going on in the world right now.
Of course.
Let me make sure I heard you correctly.
Sorry.
A problem you think we're facing in the world today.
Those eyes are bulging with
is Nicholas Godejohn being in prison for the rest of his life. A man who straddled a woman and brutally murdered her. You think that's problematic that he's still in prison?
Yes.
Bree, where did Nick get the knife for the unaliving? Where did Nick get the idea for the unaliving? Nick was talked into it. He was sent instructional video by your best friend to unalive her mom. She wore him down. You think, on your toughest day that things are tough? Put yourself in Nick's shoes, but you wouldn't do that. You would never do that. Nick unalived DeeDee Blanchard because Gypsy hired him to. Now, was Nick wrong? Yes. If Nick actually did it, because a lot of us believe Nick unalived an unalived person. We believe that the person who poked most of the holes in your best friend's mom was your best friend. And you know why we believe Nick only poked 4 holes? Because he's been consistent. He hasn't lied. But your friend, when she moves her mouth, always lies. Always, always lies. What about that? What about that? What about that? That's true. What about that? Address that. Not Glaciers. Did you go to school to talk about climate change and systemic racism? I just want to know because you're racist, Bree. We have the proof, and you associate with racists, Bree, and we have the proof.
Okay. You're detached from reality. I'm going to try to help reel you back in. Okay. Okay. So here's just a really short list of problems.
And you're gonna notice here how Bree is gonna like twist this because, well, God, if you aren't worried about like climate change, then you can't be worried about Nick Godejohn. You know what I mean? She's ridiculous. Yeah, here we go.
That we're facing in the world today that might be a little bit more problematic than Nicholas Godejohn being in prison for the rest of his life. Climate change, water scarcity, food insecurity, pollution, misinformation.
So you know what? If you are
MURDERING isn't a problem in this
no,
world?
that's not a problem. Toddy, come on now.
I'm waiting for us to all start singing "We Are the World."
We are the world. We are the children.
I mean,
Come on now. Let's listen to Bree's wisdom. Let's listen to her wisdom.
And disinformation, systemic racism, violence against women and girls.
Systemic racism.
Wow. Let me think about that for a minute. The systemic racism. Exactly. Huh?
I have a question, Bree. There's so much in the world. Why aren't you? You're a content creator. Talk about that shit. Why?
Yeah, I've never heard her talk about systemic racism or climate change. How come she hasn't started, like, airing all the only now?
It's only Gypsy for her. That's
How
it.
dare she talk about Gypsy when all this stuff is going on?
Oh my God, you guys! Look at the hunger and the pollution. Like, you can't talk about Gypsy. How dare you?
Gypsy and Bree, all they do is use ChatGPT. And what's just funny is knowing that Bree typed into her phone to ChatGPT. What are some serious issues going on in this world?
That's probably what she did.
I would think the MURDER is much more concerning than climate change. Right? Or, I don't know, some people are worried about both. I think that there's people that are capable of worrying about climate change and the safety of the country with MURDERs getting out on the streets. I'm just saying, I do think that there are people that are capable of worrying about both. But Bree says we shouldn't worry about that. We should worry about overpopulation. Well, there you go. And there goes with the MURDERs. Because they will take care of the overpopulation, apparently. Guys, I joke around a lot, but there's a responsibility in having a channel and sending a message that is, hopefully positive. Not that you should, the whole thing, and it continues with Gypsy and her mindless minions, is that they have you look over there and they're doing shit way over here. And they think that you're not paying attention. Okay. All right. And the people, instead of, making a difference in a positive way in the world, or at least having an argument that would make sense, they just bash and do things to call other people names. And when you look at the numbers, they don't match up. Even Gypsy's numbers don't even match up. Gypsy's numbers with those views, they don't match up. Gypsy is the entertainment for people's train wreck, is what she is. She did that to herself. Has nothing to do with me or any of the content creators. That just has to do with anybody who listened to Gypsy. Who dares listens to somebody that says anti-bullying because I said so, and don't pay attention to what I did last week, or the people that I hang out with, or the people that I follow who bully. Because I have them bully. And you know who they bully? They bully those people that have bad things to say about me. That's what Gypsy is. So it's only bullying when it's about Gypsy. You hear? We're not allowed to talk about Gypsy Rose. Gypsy, where's your cloak? Come back from the laundry yet? It's very much like a cult. These people sticking up, ride or die for Gypsy, who unalived her mom. There's proof that she unalived her mom. She did, almost 10 years for it. Right? I mean, it's second degree. It's by proxy. But there's no proof that she was ever ABUSC'd. I know you guys keep saying, yeah. But no. Show me proof. Please, just show proof. Anything that should have been found in the house that would have, kept Gypsy straddled to a bed or something, harnessed to a bed, or I don't know, tethered to a bed, anything like that, because it doesn't exist. But we should worry about climate change, not the liars that live among us, not people that throw people with autism under the bus and then run over them over and over and over again, not people that use people for gain, right? Not people that unalive people. We shouldn't worry about them. Climate change, because the glaciers are actually, they are falling into the water. So I guess if we worry about the glaciers and we do everything about climate change, everybody else can run amok, right? I mean, what? And the worst bit is when it's somebody who is so far and uneducated from, I mean, can you, without looking up, tell me the reason for climate change? Because there's a reason for it. Yeah. I don't know, Bree. Let me tell you that I think that, when you were in school growing up, and I know you wanted to be popular, did you think that you would sell your integrity to a mommy, Murderer? And Bree, did I really see messages that you were talking to Nick? Bree, you were talking to Nick? Somebody sent me screenshots for that. I sent them forward. It shouldn't be. I don't know. It could be that your Gypsy's talking to him by proxy of you. Why would you want to talk to Nick? You have nothing but horrible things to say about him. Why? You trying to make him feel worse? Big bad Bree from the outside. I mean, one breath you say you feel bad for Nick, and then you're laughing. And you think it's funny what Gypsy did. See, that's the thing. That's the problem that we have, is you don't stand for anything except for what Gypsy stands for at that moment and that time. And then you find excuses for her. And it looks ridiculous because it's all based on a house of cards that she's going to blow down right in front of you. All of you. And I think that, well, I think you know what's coming. All from Gypsy, because she's never going to take the heat. Never. You don't know how she's setting you up. And you know what's interesting is, don't you wonder what's going to happen when she gets off of parole? When she no longer needs that address from her dad and her stepmom? She unalived her mom because she wanted attention. And I really do think that the lack of attention started from her dad, so have fun with that. You'll find excuses, Bree. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am, you're not. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. And go save yourself a glacier. Thanks, guys.